Field of battle spells are different to all other weapon categories. Most of them are almost completely different from any other. Spells are either for combat like the fireball and magic missiles, or are for utility like the blink, slow and heal. The only spell that doesn't follow this is Lifesteal, which is both. The spells that have utility on average are objectively the better ones. All combat spells are not good except for magic missiles 3. Fireball is especially shit. Magic missiles are the starter spell. They do very little damage and cost very little mana. It only does high damage against players that are flying. The spell is the most annoying for NPCs to use as it restricts where players can fly, which is why Angel class should exist. Also, this is the spell that players using the Mage class use the most as a spam spell to chip enemies. Magic Missiles 3 is a 8 out of 10 spell. Magic Missiles 2 and 1 are 3 out of 10. Heal Others, or Heal for short, is the most controversial spell. Many players find it bad or annoying. This is because of the filthy demon farmers who think they own the public servers. Heal isn't good for progression, as you gain nothing from healing others except for helping your team win. Also, I will admit that it can be annoying when you nearly kill the general, then a guardian or a mage heals it back to full health. Anyway, heal is good for fun and teamwork, but not for gaining XP and gold. It's a 4 out of 10 spell. Lifesteal is objectively the best spell according to me. Lifesteal 2 does more damage than any other spell and is the best way of healing yourself. It also stuns the target for a second, which is very helpful when there is a second player going for the same target. Lifesteal is a 9 out of 10. The only problem is that if the enemy has less health than the Lifesteal damage, then you heal less than you would usually. Slow is a spell which slows enemies to snail speed and stops them from flying. It's the only spell that leaves an effect on the enemy except for the fire from the greater fireball. It is most useful when used against players or bosses. It's also great with the classes Paladin, Mage and Archer. It's especially good for Archer, as slower enemies are much easier to hit. The spell is an 8 out of 10. Blink teleports you a short distance. It is good for escaping in faster speeds, but with the mana it requires, classes like Assassin and Crusher will never use it. The blink is mid, 5 out of 10. The last and most expensive spells are the Fireball and Greater Fireball. The Fireball is still cheaper than Lifesteal 2, but the Greater Fireball costs 15k, and a Spirit Shard which is basically 35k. Both of them are garbage. They are splash damage spells that are worse than Axes, require a lot of mana and don't do much damage. The Greater Fireball is slightly better because it has an afterburn, but it still gets outshined by the Flaming Fury. I did an entire video on how bad this spell is. It's a 1 out of 10. The only class that it's viable on is Mage in specific situations, and it's still mid for the class. In conclusion, all spells are good and have a good place in Field of Battle except for the fireballs. Those need to be buffed significantly. Also, I think the heal spell should be slightly buffed by around 10 to 30%. Everything else is balanced.